A man has come forward claiming he's homeless, working 2 jobs because of Kim Kardashian. He's saying she ruined his life and he has to pay off the $400,000 that she countersued him for, knowing he can't pay for it. This man has decided to expose her and put Kim Kardashian ruinedmylife.com signs everywhere.
Here's a story of how Kim Kardashian stole an idea worth millions from a man and turned him homeless. We all know about Kimojis, Kim Kardashian-inspired emojis. With this idea, Kim Kardashian has made millions of dollars. But back in 2014, this idea did not exist. Here's the man who came up with the idea of Kimojis and also the man behind Kim Kardashian ruinedmylife.com, David, a software startup founder. In 2014, David met with Kim Kardashian at her house in LA to discuss a software startup that he had founded and which Kim was interested in. That startup idea is completely unrelated to Kimojis, but at their meeting, David pitched the idea of Kimojis to Kim Kardashian. This was a mock-up that he showed her. More mock-ups. And Kim and Kris Jenner loved that idea.
This man, David Levinson, has explained in his website how, after a meeting that he had with Kim Kardashian, she found out that he didn't trademark Kimoji, and so allegedly she immediately trademarked it behind his back.
Because him and Kim were going to be business partners and they would split any money from Kimojis 50-50. He proceeded to send her even more mock-ups of Kimojis. Not long after the meeting, someone from Kim Kardashian's team called David and asked if he had trademarked the idea. When David said no, Kim Kardashian's team said that it's a lot of trouble to file a trademark, so they would help him out by doing it. And right after that, Kim calls David and tells him that she's backing out of the deal using some lame excuse. At this point, David is completely stuck. Just 10 minutes ago, he thought that he was going to enter into business with Kim Kardashian, but now she literally swooped in and stole his idea for Kimojis right under his nose. There's nothing he could do because he let her team file the trademark. So theoretically, the trademark for Kimojis now belongs to Kim Kardashian, even though David has an entire paper trail proving that he was the one who came up with the idea.
After all of this, you guys, he decided to not let her intimidate him by suing her for $100 million. And for years, he tried to set justice fighting back, but Kim Kardashian, she countersued him for $400 million, obviously knowing he wouldn't be able to pay that insane amount, so he had to back down.
2019, he sued Kim Kardashian for $100 million. But then she countersued him for $400 million, and because she's so much wealthier than he is, he had to back down. These days, David is homeless and living out of his car. For years, Kim has used her wealth, power, and connections to prevent David from speaking out. But this year, he finally decided enough was enough and he had to tell his side of the story. So he created KimKardashianRuinedMyLife.com.
This man, David Levinson, has been working on this site on his phone while working 2 jobs, which honestly, the dedication and props to him because I know that's a lot of work. But anyways, he's just trying to get his story out there, and I actually want to go over some of the things that he talks about in his site that I found interesting. David here says that he feels like Kim interfered with a patent that he filed for process and that's being used by Instagram now to automatically remove comments on social media. He wrote, Kardashian never explained her part in this interference or why she discussed our IP with Kevin Systrom, ex-CEO of Instagram, without permission. After her and her team signed our NDA to get our patent file, at that time Instagram had no intention of using automated comment control. Then, less than 18 months after Kardashian's interference, our process is in Instagram's settings. I feel like that is very sus and that she definitely could have interfered because she is known to be friends with the CEO, well now the ex-CEO of Instagram. He continues basically explaining how they agreed to split 50-50 on Kimoji and that he wrote here, this gets extra scandalous during this few-week period of time following the meeting. My family and I are on cloud 9 with the thought of our new agreement with Kim and all the success we'd have together. Then out of the blue, Kim contacts us and asked if we trademark Kimoji, and everything was good, but they would go ahead and do that to be helpful. Literally 5 minutes later, Kim calls and is shocked, asking who's Ryan, and is all distraught. Apparently, without my knowledge, one of our partners took a picture of some words on a page that Kim used in our Instagram app. No user handle or private info, just a little clip of a screenshot to brag privately between him and a friend. Well, this friend was jealous and actually had a friend in Chicago that knew someone in Kim and Kanye's world. Narayan's friend, Alice, I'm going to try to say this last name, Gordeski, is friends with Gene Brusilevsky, and he's close to Jonathan Shibon, who is obviously friends with Kim. They intentionally sent that screenshot in hopes it would interfere, and it did. He continues on saying, Kim backed out and threatened to sue us for $5 million if we didn't hand over Kimoji rights and give her the ability to do her own comment control app, which blocked our patent hopes. The Kimoji trademark was filed by Kim's company 5 minutes after her staged phone call. So to be clear, she called us and asked if we trademarked Kimoji, stating all is a go ahead. Sounding excited, then 5 minutes later, after her team secured the trademark, she called us asking who is Ryan and why is he spreading her info, which nothing of that sort ever was done. This is a fraud through and through. She's gotten away with it until now because she's incredibly wealthy. He also says in his website how, remember when Kim called us asking who's Ryan and why is he sending her info around Chicago? Well, she damn well knew who Narayan was. I introduced him in the email as Narayan and she replied, nice to meet him as Ryan. Several instances back then, their team referred to Narayan as Ryan. So that means she knew of this before we signed their NDA at the meeting in California. She kept this in her pocket to use us against us and lured us in to get our comment control app, Sensorgram. Then she got Kimoji too and wasn't even expecting that part. So because Kim didn't want to partner, she used that harmless screenshot meant to be private to threaten us and cause internal turmoil. We had no idea what was going on. The threatening letter from Martin Singer's office had me shaking as I had something to lose then. The threat made it seem like we really messed up. With all the parties involved, it took a bit to understand what they were even talking about. Come to find out, a different attorney I had look at this said the statute they said we supposedly violated in the threat from Singer wasn't applicable to what we supposedly even did. This whole thing was a complete shit show, and Kardashian Jenner made tons of money for years off of it. I lost everything she could have said in light of this thing with Narayan. I'd like to part ways and buy the Kimoji trademark. Done and done, we would have walked and kept pushing our Sensorgram app. Apart from his website, of course, he has his own Instagram and his own TikTok that I found. I definitely will be following, supporting, because I think that what he is saying is true, because the Kardashians, they do a lot of things like this where they take from people and profit off of others and get away with it because of their money and their power, and it's just not fair. And I think that he was definitely screwed over. He was taken advantage of for sure. But do you guys believe that maybe Kim Kardashian will respond to any of this? Also, do you believe everything that he had to say about her and her shady behavior? Let me know down below. Anyways, I'm glad a lot of people are supporting him. Speaking of support, he did post this on his website. If you guys would like to further support him, then you definitely should. Thank you guys so much for watching, and for those who have subscribed, liked, and comment, I appreciate it so much, more than you will ever know. It really does mean a lot to me because I do try my best. I will be trying to upload once or twice a week because I am a student and I'm working, so it's not easy to come out with a lot of videos. But thank you so much for the support, and have a great day or night whatever time you're watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.